Hello everyone and welcome back to Greenpine Zoo and Gardens. Welcome back to Greenpine Zoo and Gardens after a short break because I was on vacation in Gran Canaria and I was soaking in all the sun and all the warmth that I could get before it's getting pretty cold and ugly here in Germany and I think everywhere else as well. It was a wonderful vacation. I got so charged up my batteries. I'm so happy that I did that once again because I've been there last year. Maybe some of you guys remember that. I really do love that because it's also the me time that I'm taking because I love to go on vacations alone, just to have some me time, and in that case, when I'm going to Gran Canaria, also to connect a little bit with my community, which is the LGBTQ community, especially the gay community, which I'm not too much involved in, and sometimes I miss that. So that is always the time when I'm going to Gran Canaria. I try to reconnect with people, try to make friendships and whatsoever, and that also makes me a little bit sad when I'm leaving because I'm going back home and everything is totally different. So it's almost like I'm living a different life here, which sounds worse than it is actually. But I think in that time of your life when you get about 40 to 50 years old, you overthink lots of the things, lots of your past decisions, where life brought you to, what you achieved and stuff like that, and let's call it what it is. I think I have a little bit of a midlife crisis. So how did we end here? Why am I telling you this? Let's have a look at the video. First of all, there's not going to be a new animal in today's video. We are just preparing the new area and making some fixes because I told you guys in last week's episode that I was not too happy with the fencing for our snow leopards because it was too massive, and especially with the narrow path here or the tight path here so close to the habitat for the Przewalski horses and the Bactrian camel, which you did see the habitat a few minutes before. It just didn't feel right, so I had to make a few changes, and I chose to have this glass wall right here. So first of all, people can see the animals better through that. Second, it's not that huge or not that high, so it's not that massive and lightens everything up here a little bit. I think in the end it looks better than with the fence. I'm still not completely happy, but it's definitely better than with the mesh fence pieces. So and looking at this, I have to get back into that in next week's episode once again because I noticed I left the part where the staircase is open. I didn't close that up, so we definitely need something here because it would be so easy for the snow leopards to escape. I wonder why this didn't happen, but we definitely have to change that. Okay, so that's going to happen, and the other thing that's going to happen afterwards, we are preparing for the new small area that will be called Pandasia. Pandasia, heavily inspired by Uwehan's Deer Park in Renen in the Netherlands. They also do have a part here that is called Pandasia that is dedicated to the giant pandas. It is very, very beautiful. If you're interested, you can look it up by Googling it, or you can look at my real-life zoo tours. We've been there last year and recorded a video of the zoo. Very interesting zoo, very impressive habitats, some points or some parts of the zoo. They also do have a beautiful forest with bears and wolves. I have to say they are rescued bears, so which is also pretty great. So if you're interested in that, just look it up on my channel. And yeah, so we are going to prepare for that area. I wanted to have something like a Japanese garden here, which I think might be not too correct when I think about giant pandas and Japan, because they are more like Chinese and not Japanese. So yeah, but I wanted to have a Japanese garden, so I hope you are okay with that. Yeah, so having this little pond here with a pagoda that I'm building in a few minutes, and the bridge that is going over to that pond, and then we are again walking to an upper part, or to the regular level of the zoo, I have to say. So the main level that also the entrance is, and we are going to enter the new part, Pandasia, which I'm going to dedicate as well to the giant pandas, but as well to the pair David's deer, and we're also going to have the Chinese pangolin in here, and yeah, as we do have the Japanese garden here, maybe we should have the tanuki as well. I don't know, what do you guys think? Should we have a little habitat for the tanuki here as well, to get everything rounded up a little bit, so that we do have at least one thing that justifies the Japanese garden? Well, let me know in the comment section. Oh, by the way, I have to thank you guys very, very much. I told you in the episode 2 weeks before, so when we built the habitat for the Przewalski horses, that I'm having so much difficulty with not getting that much likes for the videos anymore, that the algorithm changed, that my videos don't get viewed that much anymore. And you really made a difference in the last video, because we once again got over 50 likes, which shows me that you guys really like my stuff, and which is so important to me. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for that. This is amazing, and I really do love you guys for that. I hope we can keep it that way. So yeah, not the love, but the likes. The love is always going to be there. Yeah, but the likes unfortunately not. So once again, thank you, thank you, thank you. In the meantime, I also found out what is the reason, because I told you guys it's not just me, it's almost every creator here on YouTube that is suffering right now. And the thing is this, it's actually not the algorithm from YouTube that changed, but people using ad blocker. So ad blocker did an update allegedly on August 11th, I think it was. So now that people are watching the videos here on YouTube using ad blocker, don't get count anymore if they watch the videos. So yeah, I don't blame you guys if you use ad blocker, because yeah, because I'm totally with you that it is so annoying, all the advertisements here on YouTube, and yeah, it's totally understandable when you use that. Yeah, and I don't want to blame you for anything. So it's the fault of AdBlogger in the end that they did something wrong with the update, so that the views from people using AdBlogger don't get count anymore. So yeah, there's that. Can't change that. I hope it will change in the future. There will be a new update or whatsoever. so that we will have the views again from you guys using ad blocker. So there's that. I also got the question in one of the last videos, where can you find the hype button for the videos? Because that is also an important thing to do, especially for smaller creators. I think the hype button exists only for smaller creators. So you can only see the button when the video is relatively new released. So when it's up like 48 hours or something like that. I just don't know the exact timeline right now. But only then you can use the hype button. After that time, the hype button disappears, because it's just it's like a point system. You hit the hype button and the video gets some kind of points, and the more points it has, the more it gets suggested for or shown to people that usually don't watch your videos, because YouTube then thinks, okay, this has to be something really cool, really great, that other people like to see or should see, so it gets promoted a little bit more. So that's what's behind the hype button, or that's what it means in the end. So once again, if you hit the hype button, that is also a very good thing to do. Yeah, just give me a second. I need to have a sip. Yeah, because I got back from Gran Canaria and exactly, I got a cold. I came back to cold Munich, cold and gray Munich, and yeah, what should I say? Here we are. It's not that bad, luckily, but you never know how it turns out in a few days or so. So here you can see the little pagoda that I built. Doesn't look that amazing right now, but it's going to come together once the trees are set and the bushes around, the planting is done, the rock work all around it. It looks pretty cool in the end, and I really do like that, because yeah, I remember we call our zoo Greenpine Zoo and Gardens. So therefore I think it is important that we not have only one habitat for the animals after another, but also this little garden areas right in between. And therefore I think it is important to have something like this Japanese garden right here, where you just can relax. You don't have to look at some animals, just calm down a little bit and yeah, prepare for the next area that we are going into. So this little bridge right here, I was once again using the Indonesian pieces here once again, and not just the Indonesian one but also the East Asian pieces, which actually are not from the East Asia Animal Pack, but are from the base game, and I don't use those pieces that often, but they really are very pretty, especially when you do something like a Japanese area with all the red stuff, with the red what's the name, the red wooden beams. Yeah, that's what it is here for the bridge especially. Yeah, I really do like it. Yeah, and I think after Pandasia, we are going to connect it to our cat house. So that will be the lower connection to this area. So when you leave the cat house and you walk towards the lions, you can walk to your right and go into the Pandasia area, and then come to the Himalayan area as well. And then, and this might be it for Asia, I think. Well, Sonia, I know, the orangutans. We're going to find a place for them. I think I told you already, right in between the Indonesian area and the Himalayan area. We have a spot left. I think it is at the back of the sloth bear habitat. So there would be enough room for the orangutans. So we might have a habitat in there for them. But I don't know if we are going to go into that right after we did that. So maybe we're going back to Asia at some point and filling in the gaps. But I really want to go into a new area once this is finished. And yeah, someone suggested in the comments a few videos ago that we should go into Australia, because Australia is not going to be that big of an area because we don't have that many animals, yeah, we got quite a few with the last few DLCs, thinking about the Oceania pack. So I guess it's not going to be as big as the Asian area, and definitely not going to be as big as the African area is going to be. But I think it's going to be a nice little addition that I want to go into before we get to the next huge area in the zoo, which is going to be Africa at some point. So there's plenty of plans what we are going to do in the future here in Greenpine Zoo and Gardens. We are definitely far from finished. You might see it in the end of the video or at some point of the video, a little bit of an overview of the park. So we are almost 40 episodes into this zoo, but it still feels so small. So we have lots of work to do still. Yeah, and I love this heavily theming in here. I think I did that somewhat in Swamp Lake Zoo. Once I did that, but I think never again after that. Not too much. So I mean with those different areas of the world. So yeah, doing lots of rock work here to cover the backstage or the back area up a little bit. Not the complete part. I didn't do all the way down for the back of the camel and horse habitat, but a little bit. And once again, I really do love this Asian area here, because it is so different and you have so different perspectives. So you have the Himalayan stuff, you have this Japanese little tea garden here, you have the Mongolian steppe for the camels and the horses, but everything blends in really nicely, I think. So at least for me, I hope you guys feel the same about that, but for me it just makes sense at some point. Yeah, and I still have to think about how I wanted to create Pandasia, because with all the habitats that are going to take place, so where do we fit the pangolins? Where do we fit the tanuki? Do we fit the tanuki? So I need you guys to tell me that in the comment section, because yeah, I don't know. Did I ask you if you want to see the tanuki so that the whole Japanese area would make sense here? Because I think the only Japanese animal that we would have in here would be the tanuki then, so maybe that would justify this little section here. So let me know what you guys think about that. I'm really open to that idea. So here it's like you walk through a little, yeah, not really a forest, but completely different area once again. And that is also that I do love about zoos. I know not everyone is completely happy with heavily themed zoos or adventure zoos, as they might be called sometimes. But I really love that. If the theming is really good and authentic, it's totally like you enter a whole new world. And you just can, should I say, black out? Yeah, you just can relax your mind a little bit and totally get into that vibe. And I really do enjoy that, and this is exactly the feeling that I do have here with Greenpine Zoo and Gardens. So you enter the gates to the zoo, and then you are in a complete different world. And you just walk through everything, and it's like, yeah, it's like you're traveling the whole world. And I do enjoy that. Oh, as I look into that area, one thing that I didn't build in here, we don't have any benches. But we want our people to sit here and relax a little bit, so we have to have some benches. Yeah, here I was not quite sure if I wanted to have lots of bamboo there, but I think it makes sense in some way, especially when we are going to the panda area, and the main food source for the pandas is bamboo, so and I think it fits pretty good. It doesn't make the area too dark as well, which is very important to me. You know that I always look into the lighting of the things. Yeah, I really do like that. And now let's get into the last part of today's video. We are creating the gate to Pandasia, which once again is inspired by the actual gate that you can see at Wuhan's Dierenpark, and also in our community zoo. I built something very similar. And you can see in a few minutes that I'm going to separate those gates from the frame of that gate, because we are going to leave it closed for the moment. And within the next episode, where we are going to build the first habitat in here, we are going to open that gate. So that is also something that I do really enjoy as a little gimmick. So that we are going to close it, and then once it is open to the public, we are going to open it. Yeah, and I do know that we do have one that is a little bit, or does have one pole more than the other one. But they are the same size actually. I could have made it a little bit easier when I was going to just build one gate and copy it so that we do have exactly the same, but yeah, it is what it is, and I think you actually don't notice it, do you? Yeah, so I think in next week's episode we are going to build the habitat for the David's deer. Yeah, because I think it is easier to open the whole area up a little bit when we are going for the deer at first, before we start going into the big building, which we are going to have because I told you guys that I wanted to have a restaurant, a souvenir shop, everything panda related in there. So I think it would make sense when we open up the area a little bit with the David's deer, and then having the building for restaurant, souvenir shop, and for the indoor habitats for the pandas. Yeah, and at some point the habitat for the pangolin as well. I'm not quite sure if we are going to have an outdoor habitat or an indoor habitat. Actually, the indoor habitat would make more sense because pangolins are nocturnal. So if you have an outdoor habitat and your zoo is open in the daytime, you won't see the animals at all. Yeah, here in Planet Zoo you will actually, but in real life you wouldn't see them at all. So I think when we are going for realism, it would make more sense if we would have indoor habitat for them. So I have to think about how to do that, and yeah, but I think we will come up with a nice idea for that. So just finishing the gate. Yeah, and then we need to create a little bit of a wall in the end, just to close the area up a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to keep it that way, because I don't want it to look too massive, or yeah, just to make the whole thing a little bit too tight. But I like the idea of the wall. Maybe we're lowering it a little bit into the ground. I just don't know yet. We have to wait and see. But right now I think it is pretty cool. So some bamboo on the sides. Then just a few more wall pieces, and then we are already done with today's episode. As I told you guys, there's not that much happening right now in today's episode, or there was not too much happening at today's episode, so it's a little bit chill and relaxing and chatting. But yeah, I think it is an important part, and it is important that we take time for stuff like this to make everything look beautiful in the end. And I think especially those detail works always fall a little bit short on the Planet Zoo videos, because most of the times it is animal after animal after animal, which is nice because, yeah, let's be clear, we are playing Planet Zoo and not Planet Gardening or whatever, but yeah, I think from time to time it is nice to see something like this, and I hope you guys feel the same way too. And if you do so, you know what to do. If you didn't do it in the beginning of the video, just hit the like button for this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that already, so that you don't miss out on any future stuff. Jurassic World Evolution 3 starting soon here on the channel, and also all the other stuff that is going to take place, and especially all my Planet Zoo series. So as I said, hit the like button, subscribe, comment on the video, and see you guys next week as well, when we are starting to actually build Pandasia. See you guys, bye!